Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
We're back. Welcome to the bunker. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another amazingly awesome episode of the S-4 Paranormal Radio in the bunker. So, first of all, it is July 3rd. To those 2 days ago in Canada, happy Canada Day. And to the rest of you who do not celebrate the metric system, happy Independence Day tomorrow. So,
4th of July.
Due to that, you are probably going to hear some things from our studio and maybe from Nikki's mic as well. Some loud booms and stuff. Our doors are open and everything because it's quite hot here still, even though it's nighttime.
Well, that's because I'm here. Just saying.
Wow. So bad.
In person, I guess. Yeah.
So, tonight's show... for listeners that have been listening for quite a few years, you know that me and Kayla take off every second weekend in July for her...
Since 1959.
Well, no. Dumbass, we weren't alive then. But we take... where'd the call go? Oh, Nikki left the call. Hold on one second. Friend, So, hey, friend, every year we go to her family reunion. Her family reunion is one of the oldest ones in Washington State. It has been 75 years they have been going to this family reunion. And it is an amazing event that we do over an entire weekend. But, the reason we go to this particular area, which is Cleveland, Washington, and a campground just north of there on Highway 97, is because that's where Kayla's family originally settled when they came to this side of the country. The Evans family.
The Evans, the Gibsons.
The Evans and the Gibsons. They started in Missouri and ended up here.
Yes, we're originally settlers.
Yes, they're original settlers of Washington State, and they actually have a cemetery that they use. So tonight we are actually going to talk about that cemetery
Swat Prairie
and ethics, because about a year ago, my mother-in-law, Kayla's mom, found a video of a paranormal group going into Swat Prairie Cemetery.
Whew.
And really just desecrating every part of it. The video shows them parked on top of grave markers. It shows them stepping on the head of Kayla's great-grandmother.
And honestly, the opening line is, watch yourself, because you could think you're kicking dirt, and instead you kicked over a tombstone.
Now, I will say this is a natural cemetery, which means it is not
Upkept.
The areas around the graves are not kept up. They are natural. We don't, when we go there, like, when we go there this week, I am going to go and clean off all the gravestones of our relatives and clean them up as much as I can, which just means removing the leftover, like the leaves from around the actual stone and cleaning it off a little bit. But I don't pull the weeds there and the flora that grows around the stone because we are not allowed to. They have been burying people here since the early 1800s, and we will continue to go do so for many more generations. Our last funeral there was just a few years ago, and it was for 2 people at the same time, and they are both dearly missed.
And we have another one coming up in
Aunt Dondy and Uncle Chuck, we miss you guys, and friend, honestly, this show is for you. Because I'm mad. Friend. So, friend, tonight we are talking ethics. And why a paranormal team needs to be ethical.
And why you shouldn't stand on my great-grandmother's head.
Yeah.
Or, just for the record,
Park
anybody's.
on top of, a couple of relatives there.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question. What constitutes desecration of a grave?
Well, Texas, at least the way I was raised, you just didn't go walking even across a cemetery or a person's buried. So if you have the headstone,
You
right,
walk
you
in
had
between
walkways.
headstones.
Yes.
You don't walk
You don't
on the
touch
person.
the grave.
Yes.
Yes. So that's it-
Not only superstitiously is that like bad luck for you, but it also is just disrespect for the person.
exactly.
If
I would
you-
also think that it would be. And I know teenagers do dumb things. I'm looking at one, but
Yeah.
but I'm thinking.
Do you feel attacked?
Yes. What did I do? What's something
Have you ever gone out into a graveyard to make out?
John? No.
Or to hang out with your friends and
No.
try to
John
scare
doesn't
each other?
have any friends.
Hey, I got
Or
friends.
He
get
doesn't have
drunk?
friends.
I'm trying to
There's
think
no one
of
to
all
make
things
out
up.
with. Other than his cat.
But what's something dumb that I did? That hasn't happened, but
Well, you
that hasn't
did
happened in the last 5 minutes. No.
think that you were like super strong and tried to throw a giant boulder and almost crushed your brother to death.
Hey, that was when I was like 2. Okay, that's completely different.
Still something you
You're
did.
a teenager. You've done something dumb within the last 5 minutes. So,
No, I wouldn't say the last 5 minutes, but like the day, yes.
well, he's been here for the last 5 minutes. So
He
I guess
has to go to Europe by himself
Hey.
next summer.
I said,
For
you're
Europe.
still 17.
Well,
What?
Hey, I was just,
what parts do
I just
we
wanted
owe
to.
them for
He
World War
wanted to
II?
go to Turkey.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Turkey, a war-torn country, and he wants to go.
Hey, it could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just imagine the dad lore from when I'm older.
Are you just going there to get Turkish
What?
delights?
Actually, no, you know what the best part is? Do you know why he told me he wanted to go there?
What?
Because he wanted to see where all the Jews died.
No.
You're in the completely wrong country.
Are you talking about the Albanians? Or not Albanians?
Why the hell would Albanians be in
No,
Turkey?
I know.
Well,
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't-
Auschwitz.
Yeah,
That's not anywhere near Turkey.
but I
No,
did
no.
tell him, to be fair, he is a
Same
little bit right.
generalized area
Yeah.
for us Americans.
There is a chance during
Ish.
those 400 years that they were walking the desert, they walked through Turkey. Like,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Whoa,
a few
wait
of
a
them
minute.
probably...
Oh, the Jews.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking about Hitler.
No, there was a genocide in Turkey, but
Yeah.
it's Kim Kardashian's, her family or her dad's.
What?
No, that wasn't the genocide that happened in Turkey. It was.
Where did that?
It was during the when
It was
Turkey
during
was
World
the,
War One.
No, it was
Whoa.
the biggest
The
genocide,
last
that has
genocide to
actually
do with
happened. I
Turkey
believe was when it was the
was
Ottoman
last Thanksgiving.
Empire.
Well, yeah, but where do you think the Ottoman Empire was based out of?
The Ottoman. I don't know.
Ottomans?
Kind of all over
Like-
the parts, but Turkey, including or what is now Turkey. So
Really?
yes.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
well,
Uh-huh.
it's Persia. It was Persia.
Well, it was Persia all the way up.
Yeah.
The Ottoman Empire expanded. Was
Absolutely.
huge.
Yeah.
World War One officially changed that, and they became
I'm-
nothing.
I mean, like, they owned parts of, like, major parts of Russia. And I
Yeah.
really think they should take them back.
Well, they had a lot of the Baltic states, and that's kind of why all that got kicked off. And
So, but
No, the Persians. Okay.
The
Yeah.
Persians
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
involved.
No. I thought you were talking. Never mind.
no,
Anyways,
so
ethics.
you guys are right. Like when you go
Yeah.
down through a cemetery, you walk through or between the headstones. But also, if you're walking along them, you walk at their feet behind the headstones.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
And every graveyard, every cemetery has marked roads, including this one.
Every single one. Because you got to make sure that you're not desecrating a grave.
Okay, not every single one, because our native ones don't.
Well, they're circles.
Wow.
No, that's the wagon burning areas.
Oh, my bad.
Fran. But, so this group, they're called WIP. We Investigate Paranormal. And they are formerly known as Ghost Hunters of Kittitas County.
Awesome names, bro.
They're out of Ellensburg, Washington.
Yep.
They were 6 people and went down to 4. These guys, when my mother-in-law found the video, she wrote them. Well, I'm not gonna lie, she's wrote them like a 100-page essay on YouTube in the comments.
That's grandma for you.
Yeah,
About how that's not cool. That's my mother.
the video was immediately taken down and re-put up, edited. When she watched it the first time, it was 30 minutes long. It's now about 14 minutes. Then they removed her comment.
All of them.
The video itself had about 5 to 6 comments, and it now has none. So,
Not to mention, in the very beginning of the video, they put up a disclaimer saying how a cemetery is not a playground and you need to respect the dead and blah, 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 blah. I think they were scared that my mother was going to fucking freak out and sue them.
I think, well, first off, I'm going to say it. This is a group that I do not believe anyone in their group has any known talent.
Has actual abilities.
So, Robert, did you get a chance to watch the video?
I skimmed over it. I did watch bits and pieces of it, and yeah, they're losers.
Yeah. So they have another video on there, actually, but it's on their Facebook page, and it's of them coming to Northern State up here in Cedro-Woolley. And they call it Cedro-Woolley Mental Hospital. That's not its name. And it hasn't been one of those for many, many years. It is the Northern State Institution, but it's a historical ground now. And they actually have a Job Corps center in the actual buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And the dairy that you
they
can
took
go
a
to
video.
Lincoln Park.
They took a video of what they called an orb. And they set the camera on the ground, and you can see the pockmarks in the cement, which is how close they are to the floor.
And they
And
roll
they-
the ball.
The orb is a bouncy ball rolling across the ground. For
Okay, so I don't know what it is about these people and desecrating my parents and my grandparents and my family's resting places, but that's also another one of my grandparents' resting places, so get the fuck away from my family!
yeah,
why are they
Jesus.
stalking you?
Right?
Nikki will be joining us in a few minutes too.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out here because I'm a deep dive crazy person.
She is watching the video right now
Finally stabbed
because
me.
she didn't get a chance this week, and that's okay. She has had a very busy couple weeks, and so I get it. But so she's watching it right now as we speak, and she will be joining us as soon as she gets off there. And
Now, here's the thing. So Cole can tell you that I can find information that a lot of people can't find on people. I don't know what it is, but I'm really good at finding shit on people.
Yeah, Rick, she knows what you did last
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I did last summer.
I'm pretty sure you sat in the house,
Yeah.
chilled with Paula.
Yep, that's
See?
pretty
See?
much it.
See?
I'm gonna
Winning.
guess you're probably right.
No, so I did a little bit of a dive on some of the people in this group. So
But
what I figured
this
out...
group or that group?
That girl.
That group.
Okay.
She ain't gonna
I
air
don't
our
know
dirty
that you want to
laundry.
look around on some of Robert's stuff. So
Oh, yeah, well, let me tell you something about him. No. So I did find some newspaper articles and all kinds of stuff. So the funny part about this is that video was put up in 2022. Okay? So it was 2 years ago that video was put up. Well, in the Daily Record News from Ellensburg, Washington, there is an excerpt on a paranormal team. And the excerpt is stated, local paranormal investigation group offers services to local homes and business owners free of cost. Now, the lady in the video that's stepping all over the graves is dead center of the picture of this investigation team. Okay, so I went on and I read the whole article. I'm not going to read it for you guys. If you want to look at it, go ahead. But I read through the whole article and I got to a part that talked about one of their most memorable investigations. And one of their most memorable investigations says here... Just a minute. Dang it. Where did it go?
La, 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 la,
I am so sorry. Just a minute. I gotta
la,
find
la,
this.
la.
Out of the dozen or so investigations the team has conducted so far, the team leader, it's a really weird name, so I don't know how to pronounce it, Domerier, said that the one that stands out the most was an encounter the team had while at Swak Prairie Cemetery. We got a hit with 2 electric gadgets and a medium. It was amazing. There were so many things that happened all at once. One of our mediums was followed around by a spirit that kept hitting her on the neck. She finally asked them to stop and came to find out later that there was a man who was stabbed in the neck that was buried out there. Okay?
Okay,
So
real
this
quick.
is...
I just had, what self-respecting paranormal group calls their equipment electronic gadgets?
Yeah, that...
They would
There's that,
use...
too.
Yeah, so just sorry. Just one
But
before I forgot.
this was a year before that investigation was done.
Before the video was posted.
Yes.
Okay, so the thing is, I can explain that part. Mm-hmm. The reason that it was a year before was because the girl that they had doing their videos on YouTube, they fully admit that she had no idea what she was doing, and it did take her a very long time to build each video.
No, I understand that, but that was under their old name
Yeah,
and with totally different people.
yes.
Okay? So,
But the 4 people that were at the cemetery are the 4 people that took off and created WIP.
yes. But what I am telling you is that the potty, whatever, they have like 4 other videos on YouTube under WIP. Okay? 2 of which are not their videos. One of which is a poem that they absolutely could not read correctly. And the other one is Swak.
Yeah.
Okay? Swak, in the newspaper articles, it says 7 people were there. And that they were doing a full investigation. There were several mediums. There was this, there was that. That is not what I saw in that video. I'm saying is I think they just went back to the places that they did with their previous team and made new videos.
Yeah, but laziness seems about right.
Mm-hmm. Because their other team, the team that they branched off of, has like 10,000 followers, a good Facebook reputation, people saying that they come in and they help and they do this and that and everything else. And they let go of these 4 people. Then they went on to create their own team and randomly ended up in the same spots that they were before.
No.
Chuckleheads.
You needed to look at the comments, or like the captions on the videos, Kayla.
Oh, yeah?
That video was from when they were with the other group.
Was it?
Yes, it says that at the bottom of all of them.
Oh, okay.
They didn't do any video
Just themselves?
investigations by themselves that they put on YouTube or Facebook.
Oh, I can see it.
Other than
terrible.
Northern State.
Wait.
Yeah, with the bouncy ball in the road.
So these dingbats haven't done anything by themselves originally, period.
No.
And up to including the video that we have the major, obviously, disagreement with the way they did things.
Yes. The only one that they did themselves that they have put on Facebook that I saw was at Northern State, and
it was rolling a ball down an asphalt.
Well,
and saying they found an orb.
so now we have this other creek
Well-
that apparently isn't good either. So
To the whip, I say nay, nay.
That's awesome.
Red. Let's welcome back Nikki. Nikki, you got a chance to watch the video now. Why don't you tell us because you send me a message, and yeah, you got a few issues with them.
You think? Just a few.
I gotta be real freaking careful with what I say right now. I am a tad angry. When I first started watching the video, I didn't even get to their... Okay, hang on. Gotta sit. I did not even get into the beginning of them talking yet. And what do I first pick up? A great deal of anger from the other side. Like, somebody was pissed.
Go great
And
grandma.
I went, okay, I gotta calm this shit energy down now. I hadn't even gotten into... They were showing the faces of who was doing the investigations, right? And it wasn't even the first person popping up on the video. It wasn't even then that the anger came in. I was like, holy crap. And this wasn't from me. I was like, damn, somebody's pissed. And then as I'm watching it, I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to be really blunt. I will say this. They've got shit tech regarding the quote-unquote ghost box.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
a
what
cell
the hell it is
phone,
they're
dude.
using. I don't really give a shit what they're using. But, sorry, I only trust... the only person that I trust regarding Ghostbox is Bill Hauser, because he's damn good at what he does, in my opinion. And I've worked with him. I've done a lot of different things. The other one, no way in hell. So many people on that one. Anyway, that's beside the... So on Sunday... and of course, while I'm in the bathrooms, spirits just have to pester the ever-living shit out of me, no pun intended. So, it's the same kind of garbage that happened to me this afternoon, or earlier this evening when I was in the shower. I'm like screaming, almost fully on screaming at a ghost. I'm like, don't give me goddamn information. I'm in this new shower stall. I do not want to hear it. I do not want to deal with it. Hit me with this kind of stuff when I'm near my oh my God.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Pretty freaking much. I mean, I got really pissed off about it. So I'm like, when I'm in the bathroom, I don't care if I'm washing my hands and I have spirits. But if I'm on the toilet, I mean, come on, people.
Just fling poo at them. They'll go away. 5.
So, okay.
You didn't answer my question.
No, I didn't. I have a lot of pet peeves regarding... So my point is on Sunday, I heard the name Tanya. Unfortunately, I didn't write it down. I didn't remember it long enough to write it. That has to do with the government asshats and being targeted and how that affects my brain. Now, however, that doesn't stop. Whoever... It was a female who said it. She felt like she was... she was very loving, very kind, was the energy around it. And she wanted to tell me a bunch of information. I'm like, lady, I'm not going to remember this. You're hitting me when I'm on the goddamn toilet. Seriously? I mean, so hit me with this later. And, of course, now is later. We're talking Wednesday instead of Sunday. And nothing. But... I did get the name Tanya. The second I saw the woman's name on the video, I realized it was about her. I watched the video all the way through up until, I think, like the last 3 or 4 seconds. When they started doing the closing segment, or the closing sequence of whatever their video is. I wasn't impressed by any stretch of the imagination. I do not like how they went about things. And the fact that they were cutting things off the way they were and coming back on, the fact of... I don't have any problems with the written words going across the screen. I understand why that's done. I get that. But I'm sorry, when I was on the UFOI team, I worked with Lee Strauss. Or talked with him, saw exactly how he proceeded, had numerous conversations with him about how he does things. Learned a shit ton of information from that man. The guy knows his shit. He knows his stuff, man. So when I watch something like this, I don't typically get angry, but it's BS the way it was done. If they're going to be doing something, I'm gonna... Sorry, I just get very frustrated with stuff like this. And yeah, I do have a lot of issues. The one thing that I took major issue with as a psychic medium is this woman, Tanya, saying... where the hell did I say it? Giving permission to people to die. The other thing was, part of my gift is death. I'm like, what the mother F?
Okay, but to be fair...
I know Death himself. He doesn't pull any frickin' punches when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's very staunch about it. And if something is not supposed to happen, he gets very... I've seen that being hit beyond description. Him laugh, which is incredibly bizarre. But to make a statement that your gift is death, ooh, honey, I call that into question big frickin' time.
I will say that when I'm driving, there are quite a few people I give permission to die.
Yeah,
and if you're driving a big enough vehicle, your gift is death.
Yeah.
I do the same thing anytime I play Call of Duty.
But I'm serious. In all seriousness,
yeah.
That is a major. Holy! I mean that. I can't even get into what the hell was with the feet.
Right. So, Nikki, so in the very, very beginning of the video, the very first line that said it, okay, and you missed this part because you were watching. said video.
I was listening too.
Yes. She says, be careful where you walk because you might think you're kicking dirt, but you might be kicking over headstones.
Yeah, which I thought was weird.
Well,
it was a weird way of putting that.
And then, no, it's not.
In some ways it is, but in some ways it's not. I mean, it depends. If you're dealing, look, there are some cemeteries where they are not maintained.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. And in some of those locations, you're going to have a gravestone on the ground, not a gravestone that is facing up where you're or tripping over it.
Yeah.
No,
real
for sure.
Old. Yeah, some of the really old ones.
The frontier rock markers. Yes.
Yeah, you've got basically a flat essentially engraved stone that is essentially sunken into the ground.
I mean, some of them were just random white stones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what I'm going to say is sometimes back then, sometimes they all had was an actual rock and they literally chiseled into it in order and put that as a grave marker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've seen stuff like that.
Now,
but yeah, that kind of stuff, I was like, oh God, okay.
So at 12:40 in the time differential of the video, at 12 minutes and 40 seconds, they start talking about getting information or getting a hit on. I need a reminder of what it's called. The one with the little lights from green to red.
It's like an EMF or a EMP or something. Yeah, it's a weird.
Do you guys know?
EV.
Yeah.
EV. It's a form of EV. I've seen them used before.
Yeah. So
but there are so many different things that can trigger those, not just spirits.
Absolutely. But they keeps mentioning that they get a hit when she's standing on this hill.
On the hill.
She's not standing on a hill. She's standing on a new grave.
Yeah.
First of all.
Stop.
Sorry.
It's not new, first of all.
No, it's mounded, though.
When they are talking, she moves her foot, and you can see the gravestone right behind it. It is Kayla's great-grandmother, and it is right where her head would be. Is where her foot is on. That's what I meant by the feet.
Okay, got it.
Now, they also pointed out to me at about 6 minutes and 40 seconds, they are walking through or driving or walking up to their vehicle, and I didn't notice this at first because it is a dark video.
Yes.
Yeah, very.
But where they're parked,
like the back of my hand,
is right across the road from Kayla's actual grandparents, her aunt, her other grandparents, her uncle, her other uncle, and her aunt's dog. Now, where the truck is parked is on top of 3 gravestones that when we buried her aunt, me and Kayla stood beside. They are outlined with bricks, and then it is a flat grave marker on all 3. But they are very visible, no matter what you do.
And they are parked over top of all 3 of them.
Is on top of.
That's just.
Sorry.
That's just what I was gonna. We're parked on top of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend,
But
this
wait,
group
you don't understand unless you've been there before. Okay, there's gravestones everywhere, but there is a solid path, a driveway in, and like a little parking area where you can park. Okay, that is very, very noticeable that this is not gravestones, this is parking. And it's right across from where they decided to park on top of 3 gravestones.
Now, wait a minute. At night, is it visible via headlights?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Now, and especially with the time they were going, they went in during the winter. So, the road is the only part that wasn't covered in fresh snow. It had already been driven through.
Yeah, the road and the parking area were the only things that were semi, like, pushed down from the snow. I was like, what are you doing?
Now, how do I put this? We as a paranormal community, well, no, you know what? Us here on the show, we have talked we've been doing this for 7 years total. And we've had different people on. The show has changed formats so many times.
Like there were people before us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Oh, Rick feels left
I feel
out.
betrayed.
Do you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Friend.
Kidding.
Well,
I think you and Joe
Sorry.
would have gotten along well.
Get the guy a cookie. Friend. One thing we have always committed to is the idea that if any one of us or someone else is doing something wrong that could harm the idea of paranormal rights, the rights of spirits, the rights of paranormal investigators, the rights of people to know about this, we call them out.
Even if it's one of us.
Yeah.
And seriously, sometimes in the past, one of us has done something where the other person was like, what the fuck were you thinking? You don't do that. And it was like, why? And then you explain it and it goes, oh God, I am so sorry. I had no idea. You know? But...
Friend.
And I get ignorance. I really do get ignorance. But common sense and ignorance are two totally separate things.
Right. Now, the reason when I talked to you, Robert, and you, Nikki, about this before, and I asked you guys to listen to the video first and then watch it, the reason being is because that writing on the page is directly from a book that we just found a copy of. Kayla's sister actually found it, because we're actually really interested in this book because it has Kayla's family in it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And,
so it's Whispers from the Grave.
Yeah, and it is incomplete. So we're actually trying to get a hold of the author so that her sister can actually try and help her update it. But...
Because my family, man, we know our lineage back to, like, way, way back. Okay? And my sister's a history buff as far as that stuff is concerned, so she has gone back through generations and generations as far back as she can possibly find on both sides.
Which so far it's only back to Noah, because before that everything was lost in the flood. But
no, actually, I think honestly, the last couple of people that were on that list, we have like a great uncle that lived in England that's name was Count Bacon. And that's one of the last people that we have on that list.
Friend.
He was also a serial killer. Sorry.
Yeah, we got another one in the family.
Wait, is this documented or is this just
No,
speculative?
it's documented.
What do you mean
Oh,
another
wow.
one?
Yeah.
I know a few people.
That explains John.
Yeah.
He's a hand-me-down.
Time to follow
The
my
genes
family.
is sort of...
So,
My
but
family job.
the thing is, with that book, what they wrote on there are just experts from the book. But what the medium says in between them are exact quotes from the book. Right? And it states that she never read it beforehand.
That's what I was thinking about.
And I can tell you, 100%, there are 328 people in that cemetery. And she goes in there and says, I'm feeling a lot of heart attacks. At least 45 people died of heart attacks around here. I can 100% tell you that's not true.
Yeah.
most
of
of
them
the
got
shit that took out my
cancer.
family was cancer, weird ass accidents, and war. But there's only like 3 heart attacks in that entire fucking cemetery.
45 is a lot of
just
heart
FYI.
attacks for anyone
Yeah.
family in a grave plot that size.
But you know, like, people that don't actually know what they're talking about, they go with the most common shit.
Which that's not even the most common way to die. I've looked this up in school and got in trouble for this.
Yeah, you did. Oh.
Yeah, I used my school Chromebook to look up what's the most common death.
In America.
Yeah.
No, in the world.
Oh, in the world.
car
Yeah.
accident.
No.
Suicide
Train
bombing.
accident because of India. Oh, no. Bus accident.
What is it?
Because of India.
Heart disease.
Oh.
That is...
That was exactly what... Jesus Christ, that's what I was saying.
It's different.
How the hell are you going to college? Jesus.
I know a guy.
I do got to tell you guys an entertaining story about
Help me
No.
get
that
through school.
graveyard.
Ugh.
So, for years, Kayla's mom and everyone in the family thought that there was a horse buried beside a guy.
Oh yeah, the horse guy.
Yeah, because there was one
Like
grave,
huge.
and it was huge. It was the size of, like, it was a 2-person grave.
It was the size of
But
a
it
horse.
had one name, and it was Bobo.
Bobo the horse.
So they had concocted this whole story, and I think, actually, like, it's from Kayla's grandparents'
Yeah,
era that
it's
this
been-
story came
and
out.
it's been
Yeah,
passed down
they
to
were-
all my cousins and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Every kid thinks Bobo is a horse, but then we actually go and look at the grave. He's a soldier in World War II.
Yeah, he's just another guy.
He's just a
Did
He's a very
they
big
bury
guy.
a cannon with him?
No,
No.
his wife never got put beside him.
yeah. It was supposed
We
to be.
don't know
his-
why.
Oh,
His and his
okay.
wife.
Okay.
Friend. But, like, we found this out when we buried Kayla's aunt. We went around to every grave and actually looked at all of them and read all the, like, little stories and everything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just another guy. It's not a horse.
It's not just a guy. It's a soldier.
Well,
You gotta give more credit.
it's
Dad.
not a universal soldier, so...
But he's a World War II
It's a
soldier.
World War II or one?
Two.
Doesn't matter. They're universal
Yeah.
soldiers. So.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
went out to save
And
the
he
universe.
wasn't. And he wasn't fighting for the wrong side. So he's
I
a
think
German
that
soldier.
depends on opinion.
That is true.
Yeah, but there's...
Wasn't a Jean-Claude Van Bobo, was he?
See, now that would be more entertaining.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't. No,
Uh-huh.
no. Have you watched those movies?
Right. Yeah!
No.
Really? Okay,
You've
this,
seen more than one. I haven't even got past the first one yet.
Rick, this coming from you, who... The only movie you've ever recommended was, like, Samurai fucking Cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, I've watched other people review it based on it. I did watch Smokey and the Bandit last night. It's still good.
There is. Rick, you should tell everyone to watch one movie in particular. The greatest.
If you can only watch one movie in your lifetime.
Yes, the greatest movie in the world.
Oh, no. What?
Velocipaster.
Oh, I've heard of this movie.
Yes,
I have-
It's
Velocipaster.
amazing.
Yes.
No, Velocipaster,
Yeah, it's a...
not pastor.
Jesus.
Velocipaster?
Yes,
Yes.
like...
That's
It's a,
Holy
it's a
shit.
Velociraptor that is a pastor.
Pastor. Does he also happen to have a machine gun?
Now I want to see
I thi-
Velocipasta. Right.
That's
That's-
just
that's
mixing
actually a
both
A
of
raptor that
religions.
sits there and makes pasta
Actually-
with Gordon Ramsay.
It doesn't
I
have,
would watch that shit.
it has another chef, but it's not Gordon Ramsay. It's actually on YouTube. There's a guy in a Velociraptor suit making pasta. It's pretty cool.
Does he go, kapow?
Nah, but he says, woohoo.
Well, it's better than a T-Rex trying to do it. Stubby little arms can't reach the pot.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking about something just totally serious, and
We
I
made
blame
it.
you for this.
Hey.
Bastard.
Yeah, somehow this is your fault.
Well,
It's a good movie.
And Samurai Cop.
we
is a
are
damn good
talking
movie.
to about ethics.
Yeah. So,
So-
follow the 12
Samurai
commandments.
Cop.
Nikki, do you feel comfortable talking about what you found out?
13.
on Monday.
It's not 26. There's 26.
Come on, honey.
Leader
Oh
of
my-
MUFON.
Last 3 days.
MUFON.
Oh, yeah. So a friend of mine. Speaking of ethics, okay, regarding MUFON, I'm going to make a statement. I don't think I've done this publicly. If I have, I don't remember. There are people in that organization that I do like. They are quality researchers. They do the frickin' job. I cannot, however, stand the corporate side of MUFON because of the BS and because of the fact, and it is fact, it's proven, that they turn shit over to the government. It's well documented, well known. That said, a situation arose approximately 2.5 years ago, I believe, and with the head of MUFON. This is all documented. This is not hearsay. This is all fact. This is not something that can be come after me for even repeating it. Look it up. The documents are public. Okay. So basically, Mr. Harzan, Jan Harzan, who was the head director. Hang on, making scrambled eggs. Got to turn this off. Has now been, I guess the term would be convicted
Yes.
on 2 counts. They did a trial by jury. He pleaded not guilty. They convicted him as guilty, and he's waiting, what is it called, arraignment or something? So they've got him...
Sentencing now.
Sentencing, thank you. July 26th, as to how long, where he's going to go, that kind of thing. So he's in jail, headed to prison for quite some time because they caught him doing things regarding children. And that's all I'm going to say. Look it up. Do your own research. And yeah, so you never know about the people you think you know about, including me.
Okay.
In any of us on this panel, including anybody, any of our friends, any of our own family. You don't really know them. And that was the one, and I'm going to make a statement about this because this is one of the things that I learned in my own counseling session. I had an excellent counselor, and I made a standalone statement because I was absolutely livid at the time about what I had experienced as a child sexual assault survivor. And my counselor made this statement, and it took me a while to digest this. He made the statement, we don't know about anybody. We think we know. And they can show us time and time and time again that they are quality or credible. Would you please quit fucking with my lighting, with my camera? I am going to throttle. Knock it off. I don't know what spirit pissed me off. Or I'm allowing myself to get pissed off. Sorry. Anyway, my point being, you can talk to me after the frickin' show. Seriously? Unless it's something vitally important to what we're talking about, leave me the hell alone right now. Sorry. Anyhow, my point being that his statement of we don't know what anybody is truly like, to God, leave it alone. Sorry. I'm getting pestered. And prodded. Anyhow, point being is that we don't know anybody, even if we think we know them. And boy, I disagreed with that for a long MF time. But when I really got to thinking about it, he's exactly right. We can be the best of people in whatever situation, but we don't know what another person is like truly behind the scenes. Prime example of that was somebody that I know in my mind's eye, and according to the person's child, who, I got to be very careful, but basically the father was very good in computer and technology and well loved, and nobody ever thought anything horrible of him. But yet the son was coming home with, let's just call it abuse marks. And yeah.
So I do have a question about the Jan Herzen case thing.
To prove, hang on one sec. To prove that in a court of law is a very different matter.
Yeah.
And with police, it's a very different matter. To deal with the judicial system, it's a very different matter. And as another friend of mine, as I posted that to two individuals in one group meaning us in private chat. And one of the comments that one of the other friends had stated is that we all don't know what's really going on in somebody's life because things can be made to appear like they are, I'm going to use the word deviant, a deviant or, anyway, so we just don't know. Even as a psychic, I mean, there are things that are hidden to us for reasons until they come out in ways.
No, but didn't it also have to do? Okay, I might be getting this confused. I tried to look through our notes from the shows a few years ago, and I couldn't find anything. So Eric didn't write it down, is what that means.
Yeah, it was.
Was it not also something to do with money?
Yeah, there were also issues with money, but they got him on child things, shall we say?
Yeah. So
that's what we got him on.
But the charges with the money obviously just weren't they couldn't stick them.
No, but yet at the same time they knew for whatever reason they couldn't stick it.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I made fun of Eric when he rejoined MUFON. Because
is that I know head directors, state directors. Personally, one's retired now, but when they were in MUFON, they were a state director. Know another one that retired 2 years ago. Know why he retired. Had nothing to do with MUFON itself. It had to do with what was coming globally and all this other stuff. But that's beside the point. There are numerous individuals that I've known as state directors that are very good. There's also a couple that I would go, where the hell is your brain? But that's in the grand scheme of things, in the investigations they do, in how MUFON teaches how to do investigations, some of that I agree with. There are some things I don't agree with. But the corporate head, no frickin' way would I ever trust them. I would never in a million years turn over any of my information to them because guess what? It goes to the frickin' government. I'm like, no, thank you. And that's not me blowing smoke. That's documented.
Well, now, are you talking about people that, like, I spotted a UFO at this time, at this date. Yeah. Do you give your information to MUFON as part of their I mean,
Yeah.
you give them an email address and all of that?
Yeah, you get. Oh, honey.
I have no
Out.
idea. Yeah, I
Dude.
wouldn't.
Out into the home environment or wherever you saw it, they will investigate everything depending upon the kind of sighting or paranormal or ET experience. They will
Okay.
come and do the whole. I mean,
I thought they were more of a catch-all. I figured they just caught so much. And again, my knowledge of MUFON is from, Ancient Aliens to a degree. George Norrie had a guy on from MUFON. It seemed to me like they were more, based on what I understood, was they were just sort of like, hey, we observed something in the sky, and I'm in Washington State, and I'm just north or south of this location, and I didn't realize they actually took down the information and actually sent out somebody to investigate, or sent out individuals to actually investigate the claim in person.
Yeah, so when Eric joined, I remember it cost him $75, and that's what I was making fun of him for. Was the fact that I told him, so you just helped the director buy a Corvette. For him. But they do get a handbook that actually tells them what to do on an investigation.
Yeah, I remember him telling me about that. So it's
and then they get a T-shirt.
You get a handbook and it. Yeah, I remember asking him. I remember we talked about this on the show. I think. And I was
think
like,
so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which to be fair, the handbook was quite nice. Sorry?
you also get full access into MUFON's records, or their version of full access.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
No, but like what I meant was more like I was making fun of him, but it was pretty good natured. I would say.
No, I get it.
The handbook did actually look pretty professional.
Yeah, it's a pro book, and typically, if you want, they will train you.
Yeah.
So
to be an investigator.
And, like, I'm not trying to be an ass here, or say, like, to the ladder, or anything like that. But anybody who has any idea about anything about the cosmos knows that there has to be fucking other life out there somewhere. Like, we can't be the only ones in an infinite amount of space, right?
Right.
And we have enough people that are talking about abductions. We have enough people that are talking about hybrids. We have enough people that are saying these things on a daily basis that they can't all be delusional. Like, that just doesn't work like that.
One of the reasons why I made the statement that I made, not only was I pushed 3 some odd weeks ago by the other side, because I don't typically get angry or upset over reading stuff that people post online.
Mm-hmm.
Actually just bypass it. But I got pushed. And I didn't recognize that I got pushed until, I knew, I was like, why is this hitting me the way it is? And it was about Squatch and Ron Moorhead and this new movie that don't even ask me what the movie is. I'd have to go look it up. I don't care. But the point is that I was like, oh, this is interesting, and for whatever reason, I went into chat, which is almost unheard of for me to do that, and it was so derogatory against anybody who had ever had an experience. Anybody who didn't matter who they were, didn't matter if they were science or if so bad. And so that's why I posted what I did, privately on my Facebook page because I want people to recognize, look, this is not, it's not okay. I mean, I did it in such a way, and one of my Facebook friends named Paramarv, made a comment. He goes, the way you went about this, I can't remember how he phrased it, but he's basically, the way you went about this was very classy because you were asking questions, you were doing this, and this, and it could have been easy to go after them because of their not only their inexperience, but their lack of knowledge and a bunch of different things. And this one guy kept pestering me about information that I need to prove and show the documentation if I had it. And I'm like, look, I've stated very clearly, and this is what I'm going to state about even the ETs. If you have a paranormal experience, no matter, or cryptid, no matter what it is, just because you yourself do not believe in the subject does not mean that it didn't happen. That these things are not taking place when they.
Okay, now, and on the same lines of that, and I'm not saying this about you. Please do not ever believe that.
I get where you're going. Don't worry about it.
But on the same lines of that, there are people that everybody says, "Oh, well, they're just batshit crazy." Oh, well, they're this, or they're schizophrenic, or they're that, or whatever else. Okay?
Well, I got
just because
crack pipe.
You don't see it doesn't mean it's not real for that fucking person.
Exactly.
Okay? So even if it is straight up mental illness or something else, it doesn't mean that that person doesn't feel every bit of what is going on in that life.
Yep. I mean, and the thing could be said, too, about my ET experiences, because other than the body, I swear to God, you just leave my video alone. Leave my old phone alone. I'm going to flick you here in a minute if you don't back up.
Nikki,
I'm sorry, I'll leave!
Nikki,
Jesus!
You cannot talk like that to your producers. Okay? That's not okay.
I got those.
I swear to God, Colt, I'm gonna flick you.
Oh dear God. Anyway, so the point is that it can. If I did not have if I were not taking pictures, this is one of the reasons why I had to prove this to myself. I was like, my God, I'm going nuts. I went, wait a minute, no, I'm not, because this and this happened, and why do I have strap marks on my arms? Why do I have leather strap marks? Well, the ETs don't have strap marks.
Yeah.
But the U.S. military that are working with the ETs, yes, they freaking blinkety blink do.
Okay, I gotta tell you, like, this crazy story that happened one time. Me and Cole were at home, and we had just done some massive, like, gardening.
Oh.
Is that what they call it in you kids' generation?
Yeah, it was we had cut down a whole bunch of blackberries in the backyard. We had put up, like, new gardens and, like, all kinds of stuff. Okay? And Cole goes to sleep that night. And he was kind of joking around with me a couple of days before that about, oh yeah, cool fairies, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay. So he goes to sleep. And he wakes up in the morning and he's like, what the fuck? And his whole face is scratched the shit out of. Okay? At this point, we didn't have a cat. We had nothing that would do this. And one whole side of his face is just scratched.
You are full of shit. There is one animal in this house that would have done it.
I love you. I know what you're going to say.
Your kids are not going to want to hear that.
Nikki, firsthand now, I can tell you, he's tuned out. He hears his parents talking, and he's just like, he's gone into zombie mode.
It's It's a special skill
No,
I
but
developed.
actually, this particular night,
Is that what you?
Cole
I'm
wasn't
just
feeling
immune.
really good, so he was sleeping in the chair. And I was in the bed, so there wasn't even any, like, cross there. And he wakes up and he goes, "What the fuck happened to my face?" And I'm like, "Yep, keep talking about those fairies."
But have I ever stopped?
No,
No,
they
those little
keep
fucks.
fucking you up.
Fuck them.
Well, be nice to the fairies.
Hell no. Constant war.
They are at war. And what was it, last year? We were sitting in here and we were talking and 6 freaking dragonflies flew in out of nowhere. And they're roaming around and then they take off. And Cole's like, "Yep, nope, no fairies." And I'm like, that wasn't a major sign? Come on, man.
Hey, it's okay. I have friends that will help. The moths.
You know,
They will help me fight them.
Mike knows well. Just there's
No,
a
no,
very
no.
simple
You have
thing.
issues with fairies.
Just get a
Come
bug
get
zapper.
me and I'll talk to the,
Yeah.
to the fairies.
Okay,
hang 'em
I
up.
gotta tell you something
Zap 'em.
crazy. So, me and Cole started listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
okay? And it's called, this is terrible, but it's called Dungeons and Daddies. Okay? And it's Dungeons and Dragons with 4 dads that get sucked into this weird realm and all that crap.
Yeah, but it also has a little
Yeah,
thing that says
okay?
it's not a.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
not
the
a-
very
not a
beginning it says,
BDSM
not a
podcast."
BDSM podcast. And then it goes into it. Okay, so, they're on this, thing right now on the new season. It's a Call of Cthulhu,
They're playing the game Call of Cthulhu.
yeah. right? And so far, every episode, there has been a giant damn moth. Okay? And Cole's sitting there just looking at me laughing because I love this show, but I am so terrified of moths. It's not even funny.
Well,
And their main bad guy is a fucking giant moth. I was
It's a
like,
Mothman.
oh my god.
but my favorite part of this is the fact that because the game is actually set in the 1950s, cutscenes have not been invented yet. So when they switch between characters, instead they follow the trail of a moth. And
Yeah, so everything.
they talk about how the moth is going along.
And then it gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then cut to this guy. Okay? And so every single episode, there is mentioning of a moth. 3, 4, 5, 20 times. It depends on the episode. And I'm like, damn it. Damn it. My favorite show has turned against me.
Yeah, and so
That's
the
okay.
last episode, they did a whole thing where the moth landed on the bad guy. The bad guy swatted it with his hand, looked at his hand, and licked it, and ate the moth. And-
Which totally grossed me out because I was like, ew, no.
But Robert, what you posted, that's the first season. That's it's the original Daddies. The guy on top is named Glenn Close.
Wow.
And then in front is Daryl White.
Daryl Wilson,
Or Daryl Wilson, sorry.
thank you.
Off to the...
Ron Stampler.
Yeah, Ron Stamper's in the blue shirt and the black.
Sorry,
brown
this
pants.
is my jam.
And then
Apparently.
what was the last guy's name?
Glenn Close.
No,
What?
friend,
Guitar guy?
flower guy,
Oh,
the druid.
Barry.
Nope.
No, that's his dad.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Crunchy, munchy, granola, munching, Birkenstock wearing. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. If you guys ever get a chance, it's on all the major podcast
No,
stations.
seriously, you should listen to it. It's fucking phenomenal.
It is an amazing show that they've been doing for a few years. They did a tour all across the West Coast.
They
Then
did
they went up
that
the East
one,
Coast.
and
And
then-
now they're going to Europe.
Yeah.
They got that popular. They're doing this in front of a live audience.
Yeah, okay. So they did the original Dungeons and Daddies, and then they did their grandkids years later. Okay. Which was awesome because one of them was named Taylor Swift. So when they announced their tour, they said, "Come see Taylor Swift at..."
And they called it the Areas Tour instead of the Eras Tour.
So to be perfectly honest, there's like 5 kids there that are like, "Yeah, we're gonna see Taylor Swift!"
Oh, no. That you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no joke, right? Oh, man.
No dying allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop dying.
Oh, by the way, it was Armenia.
Armenia?
Yes, going back to the beginning of this show. That's where
Okay.
the Kardashians, Robert Kardashian is from Armenia, and they were part of the Ottoman Empire.
Do you know Nikola Tesla is from Croatia?
And so he was probably part of the Ottoman Empire.
So
Been waiting for
therefore,
a moment to,
part of
to,
the Armenian
to hammer
Empire.
that back into
Yeah.
the show. It's like I've been sitting on that for over an hour. I'm like, yeah, gonna wait. Oh, there it is. Gap in the time. So
I am...
I happen to know World War One fairly well.
I don't. I wasn't alive then. But it's okay.
Well, yeah, it's it was a dark time, but the music wasn't all bad. Better than today. So
It was just a little bit better than, that whole Dark Ages Renaissance bullshit.
there was the whole Spanish flu that wound up killing more people than the war did. So if that's hard, well, it was pretty.
I'm pretty sure Iron Maiden's killed more people than... Okay.
Probably not.
The band? Not a chance.
No.
In 1918, in that lifetime, I was murdered as a child. So,
Way
Yeah.
to bring us down with the child murder. Jesus, Nikki.
I don't know. Being murdered as a child or having to grow up listening to Taylor Swift. Did I just cost us our
Rick just
entire
lost.
audience?
Or getting murdered as a child by Taylor Swift
And our
music.
subscribers.
Just John.
Because I dug my keys into the... Oh, no. That's
That's Carrie Underwood. But
that's
close.
Carrie Underwood. My
Same
bad.
thing.
John's definitely a Swiftie.
No.
John, are you a
I'm not
Swiftie?
No.
I'm not a
Despise them.
Swiftie.
Okay, I can be perfectly honest. I've never seen him do anything swiftly.
Wow.
That,
Wow.
that's true, to be fair. Ren.
No comment.
There hasn't been any original music since Depeche Mode anyway, so...
Did you say the flesh? What?
I am
Depeche Mode.
gonna say...
Oh, God. Okay.
You know who Depeche
There hasn't
Mode
been
is.
any
I know.
original comments since the fleshlight. Guys.
No, that's porn. Similar, but not.
Gary Busey and porn are similar?
You're muted.
Hey.
Muted.
Who? Robert?
Robert is muted.
Robert, why is there half a naked dude behind you?
That's the eldest son.
Oh, hey!
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, eldest
Thank
son
you.
that weirdly
We
looks like
still can't see
Hunter.
your face, bud. You need to come down a little bit.
Get a damn haircut.
I gotta be fucking honest. That looks like my second oldest child. Very much so. Okay.
Not really.
That totally looks
He
like
looks a
Hunter.
little less gay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sibling.
Way to get us canceled.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry. I'm just a redneck, so don't blame me. I don't know.
You're a redneck Indian.
Sir, I've
Yes.
known many
So you're not
rednecks.
only a red face,
sir,
but
are
you're a
no
redneck
redneck.
as well.
Yes.
Actually, he told that to his grandma the other day because we were talking about this show, and we were talking about the Evans and how they settled here. And he's like, so my one half of the family took my other half of the family's land and, like, genocided all of them.
Yeah. I'm on both sides. What do I do? Who do I support?
Start drinking. A little early, but...
Whoa, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta tell you.
Or is that Scottish?
Do you know who you
in there?
support? The Aryan Nation. I mean,
Whoa!
Native Americans around the world. Or the
Indigenous.
U.S. Yeah, indigenous people.
Yeah, Native Americans aren't all around the world. They're just here.
They're just Native America. Okay.
Indigenous of people around the world would smack the ever-living shit out of you for saying that.
Yep.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport.
Friend. Kayla's gone. Friend.
Went straight to ant mode.
Ant mode?
Yeah, because I can't say their name, so...
What?
You're...
Huh?
I don't know. Don't
What
listen
the
to me.
fuck?
So the Evans
She
side of the family,
sounded like one
Yes.
of the ants.
Evans side of the
Linda?
family.
I'm so
No.
sorry. What was that, Nikki? I can't
Not-
hear you
like,
over this
my
belligerent
aunt.
asshole.
Oh, Jesse?
Yeah. You said we can't say names.
Well, I'll absolutely call out my sister-in-law any fucking day.
Yeah,
Friend.
Jessica Robinson, you suck balls. And not good ones either. They're all half-tarded. So,
Friend.
what were you saying, Nikki?
I can't. Huh? Yeah. Holy cow, Kayla.
Yeah.
So about ethics.
Yeah, ethics.
Oh, yeah, something Kayla totally has. Holy shit.
I
I have plenty of ethics.
What?
Am I
On
in danger sitting this close to her?
Huh?
Am I in danger sitting this close to her?
No, you're white. You're fine.
Okay.
You should be screwed.
So
Bounty Evans side.
we talked about because I came in late listening to the thing and watching it.
Yeah.
Did we talk about ethics in other groups?
Yes, that's how we actually started, but we didn't really go into much detail. So we talked about ethics within a graveyard, and within a paranormal investigation. But your ethics in a paranormal group also have to go beyond that, in my opinion.
Yes, you. In my
They do,
opinion,
because you should know fucking better.
anymore.
What? No, that's honestly what I'm saying. Is if you're going to be a part of a paranormal group that goes and investigates this shit and does all this stuff, then you should honestly, from the get-go, at least know better than to do this stupid crap that was in that video.
We're not
Okay?
talking about the video.
No, I know that. Never mind.
Okay. Beyond all that, even
back
just
and
going
beyond.
in and looking at records or talking to a family member of a deceased person, or even talking to a company, like employees of a company, that you are going into their building because that building is particularly old. You have to do everything when you are doing this in an ethical manner. One of the biggest things I have always thought is not one person should be on drugs, not one person should be drunk while you are doing an investigation.
No drinking
okay.
whatsoever. Period.
And to
Yeah.
be perfectly honest, not only that, but every single person on that investigation should have some kind... What is that called? Oh, shit. Sorry.
Well, protection is what I thought of.
There
when
we
first
go. Yeah, that's what I was trying to
Or
say.
a written
Okay.
indemnity.
Yeah, it should have some kind of protection. And it's individual to each individual person.
Yeah.
So if it's tiger's eye that you carry around with you, or if it's black tourmaline, or if it's like you ground and shield beforehand. Whatever it is for your individual self, you have to protect yourself before you go out there.
Yeah.
Correct, because otherwise you can, and even if you do protect yourself, you can still, and I'm living proof of that one, you can even, and Robert knows this one, because he's the one who I called and said, hey, I need you to check me out, because, hello, and I'm like, okay, this come out wrong to people, but my point is, and he's laughing over that, but my point is that he is what we call the human
Australian?
MRI machine, because he can literally look at a human or a picture or on video, and he can see them and what is wrong with their body. And I'm like, I feel like I'm a combination, like I'm E.T. pregnant but with twins, and I'm like, something's on me. What the hell?
Whoa.
And I contact.
That's Robert's gift?
That's Robert's gift. Robert is known as the human MRI. He's also goes by Mr. Crystals because he works with gemstones and he knows his shit about gemstones.
I am so sorry, Nikki, but can you give me just a second?
Yeah.
Robert, would you please explain what it is that your abilities are?
Well, when I don't even have to really see them. They can just be a name in, like, a chat room. And if I focus on them, I go through the internet, usually through to their device, whatever they're using, like if they're on the laptop or a phone, and I can then use that device to pick up on what they have wrong with them.
Okay.
And I usually try and help out if I can. And if I can't, I'll direct them to somebody else who can. And but that's what I do.
No.
Like it's like Astro.
So,
but
and I mean no offense, because I'm trying to understand. But like, if right now you decided to use your gift, would you be able to come through like over to here and tell me what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No. That's all I was trying to figure out.
So he's missing a few things in there, but he's also I know. He just kind of shook his shoulders like whatever. It's just because that's how he is. But he can also see spirits around a person. He can.
So is it all about like electromagnetic fields?
Sometimes, like if I look at a house or a building, I can sometimes see like a dome over that building, and that usually tells me that there's something in that building that is the other side.
Okay.
So I'll usually be able to pick up where they are.
Now you live in Queensland?
Queensland, Australia. Yep.
Okay. And you've been there your whole life?
Well, except for the 10 years that we were... No, actually, it was only 1 year down there in New South Wales and about a year and a half over in the States, over in the Portland, Oregon area.
Oh, wow. That's actually super weird that we were all that close together at one point in time. Like, yeah.
Well, and he's also very capable of seeing entities and spirits attached.
Now, I know that you and Nikki talk a lot. Okay?
Yeah.
Because she has told me, and you have told me, that you guys talk on a regular basis about different things that's going on in your lives. Hey. Now, would you, Robert, though, consider yourself a medium or consider yourself an energy worker?
Well, I consider myself an extra large.
I'm a 2X myself, so I get that.
But yeah, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say psychic. I'd say, probably a medium. because they
Okay.
can talk through me and I can relay messages to one another. What was that for? What was that for?
She's
Psychic,
shushing
honey.
you. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
scary.
think she's calling you out on your bullshit.
Okay.
I'm
So-
taking a finger at him on video, guys, because he is psychic. He knows his shit. He's very freaking good at what he does, and I have seen him do psychic things. I have seen him do energy things. I have
Yeah.
seen him do the human MRI stuff. I've seen him
Yeah.
pull spirits off of human beings that are attached. I've seen him go after
Now,
your being.
I thought that was private chat.
okay, so
I pulled that one off of Mindy.
so I'm just gonna ask because going into this whole world of psychic and all
Yeah.
the clairs and everything else, okay? So I have met a lot of people that were able to do something once or twice. Okay? So that were able to, in the moment, be like, no, we need to move over here. Or, no, we can't go tonight. For whatever reason. Okay? Now, do you guys believe that everybody has a little bit of that psychic ability, but it's whether or not they tune into it? Or is it just specific people that have it?
Okay. Viewpoint, everybody's born with it.
Okay.
As we are taught from, essentially, depending upon the family that you're born into, we are taught to squelch that. Now, the
Yeah.
difference with what,
It's like imaginary friends. You're told they're not real. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
among things,
Mhm.
told you're crazy, you're told that's foolish, you're gaslit throughout your
Yeah.
entire.
Okay.
So there's other things that also create this, and that is the ETs. So if you're an ET abductee,
Mm-hmm.
they will typically, not always, but if you're a regular ET, I'm going to put it this way, if you're a regular ET abductee,
Mm-hmm.
will typically start screwing with your higher consciousness and your pineal gland to help you further advance. Now, that said, if you're
Yeah.
part of iLabs, which is part of ET U.S. government,
Yeah. Yeah.
then that's a completely different ballgame, and they screw with a whole lot more, baby, than the regular, normal ETs do. So,
Yeah. Now, Nikki.
that aspect of it, too. But everybody has the ability. It just depends on what country you're in, how situation affects the pineal gland, kind of toxins were in this of the plants eating up. It's just there's so many different aspects to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody is born with it, but it also depends on the family you're born into.
Now, Nikki, if this is too much, please let me know. Okay? Because I don't know.
I'll tell you flat out.
Yeah. No, and I expect you to. I've known you for long enough that I expect you to. Okay? So, you being an abductee, right?
Say that again. My son just walked behind me and grabbed my shoulder. I'm a
It's
wet.
okay. So, you being an abductee,
Yes.
and you having those experiences,
yes.
okay?
The aliens.
Now, did that help you or hinder you in your psychic abilities and in your way of perceiving things?
Both.
Yeah?
I've met people in my life that I have been some have been I've been shocked, others I've been absolutely horrified to make the realization that we knew each other on board ship as children.
Okay.
It depends on the race of ET of abduction. It also depends on how they're going to work with you. It also depends on what kind of soul contract that you have with that race of ET. And if you have a soul contract with them versus if you don't. Big difference.
Okay.
Like when I first hardcore realized that all my memories were real. I mean, like, I knew my memories were real, but
when certain suppressed memories became real.
Yeah. It really made a major impact in my life. To grapple with all that, and thank God I'd gone through the counseling from the childhood section. Because if I didn't have that, I would be going, oh my God, what the is wrong with me? I mean, I would be traumatized big time. So, as the old saying goes, I haven't used that in forever. But yeah, it makes an impact, and it also depends on if you do have a soul contract. It also depends on what.
Now, how would you know if you did?
Well, you can ask them. 2, mine was through major realizations.
Okay.
And I know that in the beginning, when I was hang on. How do I say this? When they started me off with screwing with my hormones at the age of 12, 13 years old. I think I was 9 actually. Ouch, 9 when they first started screwing with them, and by 13 is when they impregnated me, and I know that I would not have agreed to that early.
No, I hear you.
The human body is not physically, even though
ready
they take
at that point. Yeah.
No, there's no way in hell. I mean, you're dealing with hormones, those baby hormones.
Yeah. No, totally.
I comprehend until about 6 years ago, and really it horribly hit me about 3-4 years ago, just how much baby hormones stay in the human's in the mother's body for her entire lifetime. So every one of my children that I have had, all of that ET DNA is in my body. Every bit of it.
Now, can I ask you?
Ask, dear.
So, the children that you do have here on Earth, okay? Now, are they hybrids, or are they with you and your significant other?
Mine and his.
Yes.
I have one human son who was all the way through 9 months of pregnancy, through C-section, and living his life.
Yeah.
Here now, and he's 32. My oldest hybrid is 41.
Okay.
Somebody else do the math. I'm 56, and they took the baby from me at age 14, but they impregnated me at 13. So I think she's 41 or close to 42.
Okay.
Anyway, so.
But, like, the ones you raised here on Earth are between you and your significant other.
Yeah. Is he a hybrid? You're asking me if he's a hybrid? Because that can happen.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking, and I wasn't trying to be insensitive or anything else.
You need to ask bluntly. Be blunt about it because...
Okay. Is your son that you raise here a hybrid?
No. Based on what I understand of how they do things, no. Now, is everybody on this planet a form of hybrid? In my belief system, based on what I understand of how the ETs have operated on this planet, from day one of this being a planet, yes, we are all some form of hybrid. That said, we all, and our genetics, there are certain things in our own genome sequence that
totally
out, because they're like, oh well, that's junk DNA. Bullshit! It's not junk DNA. It's just been fucking turned on.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw this out here because Cole, and obviously my children and anybody who's known me in any way, shape, or form has said that bitch is an alien. Okay. The very first time I met Arkeith, we were at Paracon, and he came up to me and he shook my hand and he goes, "And what world are you from?"
Yeah.
Okay. I realize I am not normal in any sense of that word.
You said that wrong.
Okay.
There are many of us who are not. I take it there?
Hold on one second. She said that wrong. Instead of normal, it should have been human. For him. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, and Cole can vouch for this, I have had some of the weirdest medical mysteries ever. Okay?
To me, that implies... Okay,
right.
sorry, go ahead.
Like, so about, 10, 15 years ago now, they took an actual jellyfish-looking thing out of my head.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Okay? Like, tentacles, everything. Like, pulled it out. I was supposed to be getting a mole removal on the side of my head. And instead of it being a mole, they, pulled out this giant jellyfish thing. Okay? And then...
They wouldn't let me keep it either.
Yeah.
Not alone. Just know that you are not alone. That's not the first time I've heard something like that.
And then I have had really, really weird, fucked up medical shit happen to me that there's no way, first of all, you should have either lived through, let alone... What? Okay. It's one of those things.
Okay, I'm going to be very, very blunt. All right?
Mm-hmm.
There are things that different races of ETs do, and they will do to a human body that I've heard women actually have situations like that, but on their stomach or on their arm, and those jellyfish type things. That is not the first I've heard terminology for it. Yeah. They literally, if it's in the arm, it goes into the bloodstream. It literally has worked its way into like a parasite getting into, and it's because
and Nikki, I can tell you, I take blood tests on the regular because I had my thyroid taken out with the cancer and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to take blood tests on the regular.
Yeah.
And what was it, about 8 months ago or so, I went in for a blood test. And they tried to get the blood out of me, but it was so thick, and it was purple.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what, this phlebotomist was like, what the hell is going on here? Okay. And she, had this, breakdown in there, trying to get this blood out, and she was like, it's
too thick.
10 times thicker than it's supposed to be, and it's a funky ass color, and I think you're gonna die. You should go to the ER and like all this shit. Okay. And
My mom had something very similar, and there are others who have that. I honestly believe that my mom is an ET abductee. Now, I never would have said that until about 9-10 months ago, because I had a flashback memory that I've never had before.
yeah.
And I lost my ever-loving shit, and it was with my mom and I, and we were both abducted at the exact same time.
Now
I lost my shit over that.
I
well-
can tell you that Cole can vouch for this. There's been a couple of times in our relationship where really, really weird shit has happened to us as a couple, as a family. Okay? And beforehand, I was like, shit, you gotta do this. This is gonna happen. Okay? Nikki and I went, shit.
Yes, I know.
Okay? And he's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? That kind of thing. And then, I know that particular incident, I had told him, no, you have to move to the left. Like, right now, you have to move to the left. That kind of thing. And he was like, what? So he moved to the left, and then he swung like a,
Police baton.
police baton. And it would have hit him if he hadn't moved to the left.
No.
Like,
The glass that he shattered would have hit me.
that kind of stuff. Okay, and I've had a couple of times where we've been driving, and I said, holy shit, you gotta get over to the other lane right now. And, like, out of nowhere, and he's like, what? And I'm like, get over! And he gets over, and then, like, this particular time, a big semi-truck, like, swayed into the other lane, and almost knocked the car that was in front of us over. But if we had been in the spot that we were in the first place, it would have knocked us right into the ditch.
I just got told you've got a Native American. I can't tell if it's male or female.
Mm-hmm.
Got told you have a Native American or an indigenous person who is like an angel who watches out for you. They are the ones who are giving you. You've got your own abilities, that's obvious, but they're the ones.
Ancestors are helping.
It's angel. It's a specific kind of angel. I don't know what kind of angel they're called. I just know that I was told Native American or indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
Indigenous is the word I'm using. They use the word Native American.
I mean, like, my great-great-grandmother on my grandma's side was 100% Cherokee, and she really was. Okay, I know how people are like, I'm 5% this, or whatever.
Yeah, 4%,
yeah.
this, 4% that, yeah.
So, she was 100% Cherokee. And my grandpa had come, or great-great-great-great-grandpa, whatever, had come down from... We figured out it was somewhere in Canada, right?
Uh-huh.
And he had met my grandmother down here, so I do have native blood. It's just not 100%. Not by any means. And I'm never going to claim that I'm native for any reason. But I do have... My great-great-grandma was... actual Cherokee.
Well, you've got a Native American, and that was what I was told was Native American, and I'm using the word indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell. I'm not. I'm not able to tell right now.
Yeah.
But angel, and that is what I'm picking up is that this person is your angel, and they are watching out for you and protect you in whatever way that they can.
And like, I gotta admit, I suppress this shit most of the time.
Oh yeah,
Right.
most people do.
Because I'm like, I don't want to deal with that.
Yep.
You know?
Well,
But-
and to be truthful, if it ever happens in a car again, I'm probably just going to ignore her because she has gotten to the point where she'll remember something. She'll say, "Oh shit," real loud. So I'm kind of to the point where
That is true.
she has scared me enough. I'm not going to listen.
You need to change. Here's the thing with that one between the two, because I can relate this exponentially.
Yeah.
Thing that you need to do between the two of you is, Kayla, when you remember and it's not an emergency, use a different word than
Holy shit. Yeah.
shit or holy shit.
Yeah.
Find a different word so that he knows that it's not that right then and there.
Okay, cool. From now on, every single time something fucked up happens from my past, I'm going to say, "Hey, governor," and then go into it. Okay?
Hey, it'll get the point across, and it changes. Look, it changes the dynamics. That's what you. Celestial for his angel. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what Robert was saying in chat. But
I had this, and I have super vivid, fucked up dreams. Okay? All the time. And, 6 days later, sometimes, whatever, pieces of my dream, not the full dream.
Yep, they'll come to bear.
Bits and pieces of my dream will happen in real life. Okay? So, there has been times where I've had dreams where I'm like, that was batshit crazy, and I'll wake up and it's 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh dude, I can't even get back to sleep because that was insane. That kind of thing. And then
So
3 or 4 days later, not how it happened in the dream, but bits and pieces of it will happen in real life. And then I sit there and I'm like, was that me being prosthetic? Or was that some crazy ass coincidence? Or are we in the Matrix? I start second guessing everything at that point.
Look, if it's happening in real life, it's prophetic when we're in dream, here's the difference between male and women. I just literally saw a video, in the last 3 days, and it was, I can't remember what kind of doctor this guy was, but he was talking about how men and women are very different in using their brains when they sleep. Something about how men are not completely asleep, but the women are still very, very, very much using a huge portion of the brain while they sleep. And our dreams, whether they're prophetic or not, if they're coming even bits and pieces of it coming into life in real life, then you're seeing things happen that your subconscious and your higher consciousness are working on together to get your brain and you to consciously recognize this shit. It also means that you need to be a little bit more proactive about some things.
Now, I gotta be honest. When I was younger, shit would come to me that was very prophetic. Okay? And it would have names, and it would have places, and it would have everything else with it. And I think as the years have gone by, I've just kind of pushed that off to the side enough that now it's just hearsay shit.
You poo-pooed it enough to where you're having problems getting to... Basically, honey, what it comes down to is you deal with it.
Because there was a particular time when me and Cole lived in Edmonton that some crazy shit happened with one of our roommates. Okay? And that was the whole, he's coming from the left and everything else. Okay? But not only that, but I also, named the cop that was going to come and talk to us and, everything else in this. because it was so, like, in my mind that I was like, dude, it's this guy, and he's gonna come here, and he's gonna do this, and all that shit. And then Cole was like, what the fuck? Okay. And then all this stuff went down, and it just so happened to be the same name for the cop, and the same, like, coincidental shit.
That's not
Okay.
coincidental.
But at the same time, I'm like, what was that? You know what I mean?
You're very okay. So you've got a very scientific brain, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. So in that way, you're very much like me in the sense of when you have a scientific brain, you're gonna question every frickin' Here's the key to that.
You believe it on coincidence or whatever else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't want to, your brain does not want to acknowledge, took me years to get through this shit.
Yeah.
Your brain does not want to acknowledge that it could be abilities. I know this well because I used, and it's a form of belittling ourselves. And it's also a form of how we're raised or
Yeah.
other people are telling us, so we're taking in all that judgment
Yeah.
into ourselves in different ways. And it's breaking free of that judgment for you to allow yourself to be you, really you.
Now, I
When
will
you-
tell you, like,
It will open things up.
this one crazy ass experience. And I'm going to say crazy ass because it was probably the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. Okay? So, when I was 7 years old, I was over at my friend's house, and my grandmother died while I was over there.
Yeah.
And me and her were ridiculously close. Okay.
Yeah. I just heard TIA, Tia.
And she would
All right.
sit in this one rocking chair all the time in the house that we were living in. And my brother would always go up to her and jump in her lap and sit with her in her rocking chair. Okay, my brother was 3 years old at the time. And she passed away 2 days later. He goes, "Grandma!" and ran over and sat in the rocking chair and started rocking it back and forth. Okay, so about 2 weeks after that, me, my mom, and my sisters went to the Evergreen Fair. And there was this random guy that was standing there. And he said, "Hey, you guys got to come in here. I got 4 seats. Come in here." Right? And we were just walking by. And we're like, okay. Right? And my grandmother's favorite song was that "Love Me" song. And we ended up in the second row, center, to a concert. And the first song that he sang was "Love Me." And, like, stuff like that. Okay? Where you're just like, whoa. Like, did that happen? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, please, dear. Yeah.
And I told my mom, like, God, about a week and a half ago, me and Cole went over to her house to help with my dad and everything else. And we were sitting out on the porch and we were all talking. And I was like, dude, you know, when I was like 8 years old, like, I'm scared of ghosts. I'm terrified of ghosts. Because
Goats.
when
I'm
I was
terrified
like
of goats.
7 years old, right,
Goats.
I was sitting up at night and my bed, like, had an imprint on the bottom of it. And I heard a bunch of shit and I saw a bunch of shit. And me at 7, I was not taking this in properly. And it just terrified me. So to this day, like, anytime I see anything that I don't really see, like, the corner of your eye stuff, I'm like, ah! And I'll freak out and run away. Right?
Yeah, peripheral vision.
Yeah, exactly. But my mom, we were sitting on the porch the other day, and I was like, I swear to God, Grandma was like sitting on the end of my bed when I was a kid, and she was like talking to me, and Mom goes, "Oh, she used to do that to me all the time too." Right? And started talking about how her bed would indent, and there'd be this figure there, and she felt like it was her mom, but she wasn't really sure, and she'd feel this like euphoria or peace afterwards. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, wait a minute, that happened to you too? Like, it's not just me, I'm not just fucking crazy or whatever.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
It has to go back to the mods.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, that you can remember, a moth? How do I say this? I just got told bluntly, and I'm like, no, this is not one of those things.
No,
you
just straight up bluntly do it. What's up?
Have you ever seen one that is 2 feet in height?
Yes. Okay. Now, not in reality. I'll be perfectly honest, not in reality. But as a child, after the whole moth incident that I had in California, they used to come to me in my dreams a lot and be just gigantic. Big.
Okay, gigantic
moths.
house. What size?
Anywhere from 2 to 6 feet, and anywhere, like, wingspan-wise, from 3 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was only after
Yes.
the experience.
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
Now, I also have always had, like, since I was a very, very little baby, I have always had fears of flying creatures. Okay, and not like birds, but like moths and butterflies and stuff like that. Okay, flies, that kind of thing.
That was before the incident, yes?
Yes, yes.
Kayla?
Yeah.
Cool.
That kind of thing.
Rick. Robert.
The kind
John
of
Boy?
Robbie. Oh, wait.
kind of things that you have talked about, especially with the item being removed out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
The fear before the incident as a child.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder, and every time I've asked, because I have asked telepathically, and
I know. Anyway.
I get a shush from them to me, and I'm like, no. Seriously, you're actually shushing? For the other side to actually do a shush, it means that I'm not supposed to know yet. It means you're not supposed to know yet. But I am wondering, based on everything that you have talked about tonight, and a number of things that we have talked about previously in the last, I think, I've done this show for 4 years.
4 years, 5 years, some crazy shit. Yeah.
It's something like that. And so I've wondered for a while now if you're an abductee, because
I'm gonna say no. Okay, and I say that like fully and consciously. I'm gonna say no because I do not have
You don't have body marks. You don't have missing time. You don't have all the stereotypical things, correct?
Nope, not correct. Absolute lie.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot of body marks. I have a shit ton of missing time. They put it to frontal lobe seizures back when I was younger. But, yes, I do have that. But I'm going to say no, because I do not actually have a cognitive memory.
You don't have
any way, shape, or form.
Same.
You do. That's the
Okay.
thing. Here's the thing about.
Get it from now.
Here's the thing. We've only got a couple of minutes left. Here's the thing about being an ET abductee, and depending upon the race that is doing the abducting, you may never freaking consciously remember
Okay, so
because of how they do things with the brain. Now, here's the other side of that. However, you may have the missing time, or you may have, and it's chalked up to something medical.
yeah.
You may have the body marks that you're consciously going, well, no, I hit my arm here, or, oh, there's a scoop mark on my arm. How did that get there?
Oh,
Oh, that
shit.
must have been from, that must have, or it's on my leg, or it's on my ass, or
Yeah,
on my, ever. The point is that if you have marks that you're chalking up to other things, start making a journal notation. Keep a journal. Small. It doesn't have to be anything big. Be like 2 inches by 3 inches.
Okay.
Just a
Now,
write those down.
and I'm not trying to say that, like, 100% I'm not an abductee.
I'm
okay.
not saying that you are.
But-
I'm questioning it myself, and I'm also questioning the other side. And when I get shushed, I really start it then.
I can genuinely tell you that... Oh, fuck. How do I put that without sounding like a crazy person? I do not think I am a abductee. Okay? I have
Well,
some
no, 'cause
missing
you're
time. I
alien.
have
Yeah.
some stuff and everything else.
You're
But-
the abductor.
To
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
perfectly honest, I quite literally, and all joking aside, I really do not feel like I was actually born on this planet.
See, abductor.
Yeah. She doesn't get
I-
abducted, she
I
abducts two
do
kids.
not believe I am
mean,
on the abductee, but I do not believe I am 100% human either. And I have talked to my mom about this. Cole, what did my mom say?
It's a possibility.
Yes. My mom said she has no idea, that she does not know how I'm here, and that it is a possibility because she didn't know she was pregnant with me until she was 6 months pregnant with me.
Oh, damn.
Not only that, but I do not have the same eye color as anyone in my entire family.
Okay, guys, I am going to have to cut you off.
Okay.
If Kayla will agree, I want to do our show on this in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So we are going to do a show in 2 weeks on...
If my mom's an alien.
Oh, that was like creepy Mars attacks.
There was-
though, John.
There's a movie called My Stepmother is an Alien. No, it's just your mom.
Oh, wow.
So...
That brings me back to childhood. Thanks, Robert.
All right, guys. So, Rick, what are you talking about next week?
Jesus.
Freelancing. No,
sorry.
we're not talking about Jesus. I'm already in enough trouble with
Come
him,
on.
so...
But it's
Drink
our
the
Lord
wine,
and Savior.
Rick.
No,
Drink the wine and
not
kiss
talking-
the feet. Oh.
Not invoking religion, and it's otherwise perfectly normal show. So, no.
Normal? S4?
This one? No, I will...
Isn't that blasphemy?
Yes, could be. I'll get together with my co-hosts for next week, which I'm assuming will be Robert and Nikki.
Nicky.
All right. So, and we'll be dragging my brother along. So I'll get together with the two of you, and we'll come up with a plan, and we'll just make him.
So I'm thinking Texas and why aliens do not give a shit about it.
Wait.
It's nothing but miles and miles and nothing but miles
We
and
have the
miles.
Marfa lights.
What happened to you? I Waco.
We have the Marfa lights, I will have you know. But that's a story for another day. Maybe next week, as a matter of fact. Since you won't
Were
be
you
here to-
woke in Waco?
I
You
live
got
there.
work in Waco? Wow.
According to the wonderful Miss Paula, next week's discussion will be on beef fizz, the revolutionary drink. So, for
Whoa.
No.
Okay, can I tell you something crazy
No,
for anybody?
you can't.
Okay,
I'm
never
sorry.
mind.
You're done.
Nope, I'm
I am
finished.
cutting you off.
I'm through.
For
We're done.
You're
Blah, 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 blah.
with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week. Well, Rick will be back next week
I will be.
Yeah.
with Nikki and Robert and hopefully Rosella and Rick's
I'm
brother.
gonna be in the
and
Appalachians.
Paula. And we will be in the mountains. So,
We'll be in the great outdoors.
Take
for all
off.
of you in America, happy 4th of July, because it is now 12:05.
For all of you in Canada, happy 1st of July a few days ago.
Well, happy 4th of July.
It's in the 4th for 17 hours down here.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Happy 4th of July was from S4. From me, Cole Wegleitner. Happy Treason Day, assholes.
Okay, whoa. And for you, Robert, happy? I'm not sure what you guys...
Happy, happy.
All right.
All right,
Get your
everybody
happy,
say
happy.
good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good day.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.
Son of a biscuit eater.